The oil and gas industry, the home of innovation, cutting-edge technology, and the extraordinary people who make it all happen. Together, we're powering the world. Here are the stories of business builders who are leading the way in the energy sector. This is Zebra Marketing Solutions Oil and Gas Business Builders Podcast, where we explore the real experiences of today's leaders in business growth with key takeaways to start implementing right now in our own companies. And now here is your host, Lorie Clements.
Hi, welcome to all the oil and gas business builders listeners. I'm Lorie Clements, founder and CEO of Zebra Marketing Solutions. And today I'd like to introduce a guest to talk a little bit about the COVID-19 situation, how it's affecting businesses, and what we can do right now to move forward powerfully in this situation. Lorie Clements is here with us today, and Lorie is a certified EOS implementer and dynamic speaker. She delivers results to business owners and leadership teams through her company called Springboard Solutions. Welcome, Lorie. How are you?
Thank you. I'm fantastic. Happy to be here, Laura.
Awesome. I'm so glad that you were able to join us. So Lorie and I actually know each other through the Rice Network. Lorie completed her executive MBA at Rice, and I completed my MBA there as well. And Lorie's been very active with the entrepreneurship societies, and we have roundtables that she's been active with, which is really cool. So let's see. Lorie, she's an accomplished C-level executive with proven experience leading successful businesses in multifaceted functions, including operations, strategic planning, technology, finance, marketing, HR, and account management. She leverages her track record of success in 9 industries and 7 countries to deliver expert EOS implementation as the owner of Springboard Solutions. Lorie, can you tell us a little bit more about EOS and exactly what that is?
Absolutely. So EOS stands for the Entrepreneurship Operating System. And essentially what it is it's a proven road-tested system to help you get more of what it is you want from your business. It's a very personal question that can have very different answers from one business owner to another. So it really works to strengthen 3 things. Clarify your vision, getting the entire leadership team rowing in the same direction, getting traction towards your goals, and then working on team health, because unfortunately, not all leaders come together in the cohesive manner that we really need in order to accomplish all of our goals. So you can think of it as this way. It's just a system to help us grow faster, increase profits, and eliminate frustrations.
Okay. So have you been quite busy lately with businesses and challenges due to COVID-19 and helping people move through this current situation?
Absolutely. I work with 30 different businesses nationwide and helping them to scale up and grow. We're all working to accomplish, a myriad of different objectives. So it's a fascinating time to be working with a wide variety of businesses. What many of the, news reporters and blogs right now are missing is how differently businesses are being impacted by this. I've got clients who are killing it. Some that have an e-commerce platform are experiencing huge growth. Others who are a business that's more centered around bringing people together are, closed for the short term. So, it's a fascinating time. There's not a one-size-fits-all approach to how we're impacted, but the fact of the matter is we're all impacted in one way or another. So now is not the time to throw out the playbook. Now is the time to, really lean forward, get alignment with your team, clarify the new vision, retool where we're headed, right? And then put our head down and go to work, because this is a time like no other. And while this crisis can spell danger in a lot of ways to many businesses, there's also so much opportunity. So really trying to find the opportunity in the midst of all this noise and chaos for each unique business, that's the challenge, and that's where we need to be spending our time. This just laser focus on solution, finding solutions, right?
Hmm. Yeah, I think it was JFK who said that the Chinese character for crisis consists of two characters, one for danger and one for opportunity. So I think that's a really great point, that there is opportunity in this climate, and that, if we continue taking the right actions and taking the right moves, that we can find that opportunity. So Lorie, how would you say that the business mindset has shifted now that most businesses are about 2 months into feeling the impacts of COVID-19?
Yeah, it's a great question, because there's sort of a timeline, if you will, of how this virus has impacted us all. And we might be at different phases of where we're being impacted. But overall, what I'm seeing is that, of course, we were thrown out of the comfort zone and really moved into the fear zone when this all first hit. And when we're in the fear zone, we're not as objective. We might be lacking the clarity to make big and bold moves. But, what I've really seen is most businesses are out of that fear zone, and they're now in the learning zone where, we figured out how to apply for, PPP loans or whatnot. We figured out how to really still leverage the talents of our people when they're working from home. And, many of us figured out our scenario planning, right? What are some of the cuts we might need to make to keep the business afloat, et cetera? I've seen now in the marketplace that we're moving past that, and people are much more willing to think about, how do we move from the learning zone to the growth zone? So how do we really, now that we've acquired new skills, how do we identify new opportunities? How do we think big? How do we see through, all the smoke and the chaos and the noise, and spot those strategies that are really going to take our business to the next level? And that's going to mean very different things for different businesses, but it's time, right? It's time to to pull back from the fray, look around, and spot the new opportunities, make a new plan, and run after it.
Mm-hmm. So what are some of the strategies and examples that you've seen that where local businesses are showing their resiliency or making bold moves to emerge even stronger and adapt to this new situation?
Oh man, there's so many to pull from. It's like, where do I start, right? But that's what we need right now. We need to share ideas. So I love the question, because what are other people doing? And maybe it might be a different industry from you, but if it can spark an idea, if it can give you a new mindset even, then that's where we need to spend our time. What are other people doing? What can I be doing? So here's kind of 4 or 5 big ideas around that. The first is, this might be a time to reconsider our core focus. So in regular times, in a more stable economy, we want to stay laser focused on essentially our sweet spot. What our business is best at, what drives our economic engine. But in times like this, we might need to take a step back and reconsider how we would adjust that core focus to these new and trying times. So great example here is a company called BrainCheck. So they do cognitive health software, and essentially they were, doing fantastic in the testing space and app-based testing. When all of this hit, they realized, we've got to run fast and furious after how we can leverage our testing technology into a telehealth platform, right? So broadening, if you will, the core focus, but still really achieving the why of why that business exists, and serving not only the patients that are using this testing app to figure out what sorts of treatment protocols might be best for them, but also so that the doctors can continue to monitor their progress and be there for their patients at a time where they might not be able to see them in person. So solves a lot of problems, but it's also a new business model, right? It's also a new business segment, if you will, for this company that's going to outlast COVID. So that's my first idea. Reconsider your core focus. Should it broaden or change in unique ways to really suit the times? My second is to experiment with adjacent opportunities. So another cool example here, a company called Corporate Care. And so what they do is they essentially do fabrics, furnishings, and they keep Fortune 500 businesses looking amazing. And they tinkered around with a disaster recovery business. They realized in the midst of all this, what a fantastic adjacent opportunity to now use their technology to invest more time into how do we sanitize workplaces to make workplaces safe for employees to come back to. So they expanded into an adjacent opportunity. What that's doing is it's replacing potential lost income in more traditional sides of the business. Also growing out a new business segment, right? So fascinating approach there. My third example is how do we add value to clients in new ways? Our clients have a new set of challenges, just like we have a new set of challenges. So looking at if we can't serve them in the traditional way, or if things are a little upside down, how do we add value right now? And one wonderful example here is the company Pinot's Palette. So, they bring people together for painting classes in studio. We can't do that right now. But what they can do is they can still leverage the value they bring to their clients by bringing people together for virtual painting classes, right? So just really creative, out-of-the-box ways to really meet our clients where they are and add value in a way to solve their problems. The actions that we take now will be remembered long past this crisis. So this is the time to lean in and really serve our clients enthusiastically and energetically. And I feel like we might be talking too much. So let me pause and ask. I get excited about this topic. Let me pause and ask if you have any questions.
No, I was just going to say that's a really good point about, thinking creatively right now and how can we help meet our clients' challenges. We are having challenges, of course, in our own businesses, but, what can we do to really support our clients right now? And, I had actually, now that you're talking about Pinot's Palette, I'm actually invited to a virtual wine tasting on Wednesday night. And I was like, how is that going to work? And the leader of the virtual wine tasting said, oh, we're going to stop by your house, drop you off the wine samples, and then we're all going to get on Zoom and I'm going to talk to you and tell you about the different wines.
I love it. It's so creative, right?
I know. I just would have never even thought about that. But, it's just another example of getting creative with, this situation and these times. Thankfully we have Zoom now, which allows us to kind of hop on meetings online and still see each other's faces and interact, which is super cool.
Yeah. Can I give you two more examples on this question before we move on?
Sure, absolutely.
And if I'm going too long, tell me, but I'll try to keep it quick. The next one is to make our workloads work for us. So right now with our workforce displaced, not everyone can work in the same manner that they're accustomed to working, right? They might have free time. There might be an opportunity. This is an opportunity. When else will we have a moment where maybe not all aspects of our company are as busy as they usually are? So what I'm challenging businesses to do right now is think about how we capitalize on this opportunity, right? Could this be the time that we put our, onboarding training into a video format? Could this be the time that we write some processes that are going to help make our business more efficient, increase consistency and profitability? Maybe this is the time that we have some marketing initiatives that are really people intensive, and this is the time to be marketing, right? So that's my fourth example. And then my final example, think big. So we don't want to be playing small ball right now. There will be a lot of opportunity created with all of this upheaval in the market. So if we have the balance sheet for it, and we've had our eye on a business to buy, maybe this is the time. A lot of the valuations of companies will be going up and down. There will be new talent on the market. I mean, we've had such a tight labor market for so long. maybe this is an opportunity to bring in or to upgrade our human capital, right? I realize that might not be possible for all businesses, but we should at least be asking the question and think about how we might be able to use some of these government programs to help emerge stronger. You know, maybe this is the time where we think about how we can do more for clients. And so we add on additional small acquisition or bring on some new talent to help us build out the business in a way where in other times we might not have thought possible. But right now, the most important thing is possibility thinking. What can we do with this opportunity we've been given?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a great insight. So with all of this hype and the conflicting information about where business owners can be, can or should be spending their time, I'm sure there's a lot of different things and people are thinking, should I go into a different industry, or should I go, start offering a different service? How should business owners be spending their time right now? And what simple, proven steps should business owners be taking to cut through the noise and move forward in this new environment?
Yeah. So in EOS terminology, there's this reliance on a cadence of continuous improvement. And that serves us in times of crisis or, times of plenty. So right now, what we need to do is come together and align on priorities. And first and foremost, depending on your situation, if your business is in free fall right now, you might want to align on like 30-day priorities. What's right ahead of us, in front of us right now that we need to deal with. I would call that like a 30-day sprint, right? Where we get the leadership team together and we all hash out what are the most important things, what should we be doing? Because now is not the time to assume that our people know where they should be spending their time, energy, and resources. We just don't have time to waste, right? Now, if you're on the other end of the spectrum, you're doing okay, you're looking for opportunities, maybe your revenue is a little bit down or flat, but it's not terrible. Well, this could be the time, the opportunity to create a 90-day objective. In the EOS world, we would call that rocks. That just comes from Stephen Covey's analogy on putting first things first. And come together as a leadership team and say, okay, what are we going to focus on in the next 90 days? Assign accountability, stick to deadlines, everyone getting crystal clear, knowing their role in helping. So that would be my first suggestion to you. And then to take it one step further, my second suggestion is now is the time to take a second look at your 2020 plan. And if you don't have a 2020 plan, make one. Because in chaotic times, making sure we all have the same destination in mind and we're aligned on priorities is so much more important than ever. So we might need to retool that plan if we have one already. Maybe what we were shooting for in terms of revenue and profit and some key measurables, maybe that needs to be adjusted. Keep in mind, it could go up on some parts of the business and down in others. But look at your plan, reassess, can we still accomplish this in 2020, or does it need to move to 2021, or can we take on more? And then move forward without hesitation or guilt. The worst thing we can do right now is to get stuck with paralyzed by analyzing everything and do nothing. Right now, we need to come together as a plan, execute that plan, get alignment with the leadership team, share it with the rest of the organization, and move forward.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great advice. Thank you for that. So you think then, I guess there's going to be people who had a 2020 plan and they're right now probably saying, well, this is just garbage now. Everything that we planned is going out the window. What do you say to those people?
Yeah. So it's really easy to throw our hands up and say, nothing's in my control. I can't do anything. But one exercise I do with my clients is, we make a list of what's out of our control and then what's in our control. And in every case, there's more in our control than we know of. Now is the time to work with someone or adopt a new system, EOS or another system, if there's something else out there that you prefer, to make that plan, to come together and say, yeah, some things we're not going to be able to control, but what can we agree that we should run after? What can we agree are the 3 to 7 things, that the most important things that have to get done this year? Because what most businesses will do is they'll come up with 27 things. And when we make everything important, then nothing is important. So now more than ever is the time. We don't throw out the playbook. We revisit the plays, and then we run the plays. So now is the time. It's like my passionate plea to business owners is don't just think that you can do nothing. Make a new plan, get buy-in, get creative, possibility thinking, and then make it happen. And when you run into obstacles, that's where we come together as a team and we just talk about how we're going to knock them down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just, I think, easy right now to get bogged down in the negative and looking at the things that didn't happen or can't happen. But, I think it's really important to stay positive and to focus on the things that can be done and just keep a positive mindset and be courageous. And, I think that can serve us all a lot, especially right now. So, Lorie, do you have a book or resource you might like to share with us right now?
Yeah, a great book that explains some of the tools and disciplines that make up the system that I use when working to help business owners scale up and grow their small to medium-sized businesses is Traction. You can see several of them behind me. Or Get a Grip. Get a Grip is kind of the movie version. Traction is kind of the manual. So pick the one that sounds most appealing to you. And, if there's any business owners out there that are just, feeling really stuck and they want to have a conversation about, how can I get started? What would my first round of rocks look like in this environment? I'm happy to have a conversation. Right now is the time for just everyone to be very help first, right? Find out who's having challenges and where, and come together as both a business community and as humans and just talk about how can we get creative to overcome those challenges. So I would suggest you can go to my website, thespringboardsolution.com. You can read the first couple chapters for free. It's not a book I wrote. I'm not plugging my own book. I'm just plugging a system that, I have seen have wonderful results. And I just want everybody right now to be able to experience the peace of mind of when we have a plan, when we have healthy, cohesive leadership team, what that can look like for their business. That's my hope for you.
Awesome. And Lorie, are you on LinkedIn as well?
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
Okay. So Lorie Clements on LinkedIn?
Yes. But my name is Lorie. My mother had to go and make it complicated. Sorry. Then Clements is actually misspelled all the time too. And that's Clements. So,
Okay.
Hope you can find me. If not, reach out to Laura.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you being on the show with us today, Lorie. You've had some great insight to share with us and, really thinking about, from the business perspective, what we can do right now to move forward and, keep positive and be resilient. So I thank you for joining us on the show. And, to our listeners on the Oil and Gas Business Builders podcast, I am really looking forward to the next episode. Please join us there, and we will talk to you soon.
All right. It was a pleasure, Laura. Thanks for having me on. Reach out if I can help.
Thank you, Lorie. Take care.
Okay.
Thanks for listening to Zebra Marketing Solutions Oil and Gas Business Builders podcast. Join our Oil and Gas Business Builders groups on LinkedIn and Facebook, and see our videos on YouTube and on ogbbmmedia.com. Visit zmsenergymarketing.com to learn more about how we can help you on your business design and implement a marketing strategy to retain and attract customers, grow revenues, and gain market share. Join us on the next episode for more great takeaways from business builders who are leading the way in the energy sector.